It began with a knock, a soft, almost delicate knock that whispered of normalcy, yet beneath its gentle facade lurked an unsettling tension, a reminder that the world outside my secluded sanctuary was alive, and perhaps, waiting. As I approached the door, clad only in my robe, the chill of the morning air clung to my damp hair, remnants of a hurried shower that had done little to wash away the unease brewing within me. As I swung the door open, anticipation coursed through me. I braced myself for the familiar face of the mailman or perhaps a friendly neighbor. But there he stood, Liam, my best friend's son, his presence sending an unexpected chill down my spine. 19. A number that echoes with the weight of untold stories, each digit a heartbeat in the silence of anticipation. What lies beyond this threshold? The air thickens with tension, as if the universe holds its breath, waiting for the next move in this unfolding drama. 19, a mere count, yet it pulses with the promise of revelation, the brink of something monumental. The stage is set, and the shadows dance, whispering secrets of what is yet to come. He stood tall, glistening with the sweat of the relentless summer heat, his white tank top clinging to his chest and embracing his arms in a way that left little to the imagination. The air was thick with tension, and every glance seemed to hold a secret waiting to be unveiled. His curls tumbled wildly, a chaotic halo framing a smile that held the innocence of youth, yet hinted at untold secrets lurking just beneath the surface. "Hey, Miss Clara," he said, his voice barely above a whisper as he lifted a small box, the weight of its secrets palpable in the air. With a sense of urgency, Mom entrusted me with this crucial task. She insisted I deliver it to you without delay. His voice resonated with a depth that sent shivers down the spine. In that fleeting instant, time seemed to suspend itself as I blinked, a heartbeat of uncertainty hanging in the air, before a smile broke through the tension like dawn piercing the night. Liam, the name echoed in the shadows, a whisper that sent chills down the spine. What secrets lay hidden beneath the surface of that single syllable? The air grew thick with tension, as if the very walls were holding their breath, waiting for the next move in this unfolding drama. Time seemed to stand still, and the world outside faded away, leaving only the weight of anticipation hanging heavy in the air. Oh, the suspense! It feels like an eternity since our paths last crossed, months stretching into an agonizing void. As he thrust the package into my trembling hands, a haunting aroma wafted through the air, wrapping around me like a shroud of mystery. The intoxicating blend of soap and cologne, entwined with the fierce embrace of the sun, creates an atmosphere thick with tension and allure. Indeed, the relentless tide of schoolwork and obligations pulls me under, leaving little room for respite. Yet, my mother insisted that this was of utmost importance. "Step inside, if you dare." "Text," I commanded, my voice slicing through the tension as I stepped aside, the weight of the moment hanging heavy in the air. "Allow me to present you with a glass of lemonade, a small gesture that may quench your thirst in this moment of uncertainty." He paused, a storm of uncertainty swirling within him. "Only if you're absolutely certain. Demand it with unwavering resolve." He stepped inside, and an unsettling chill enveloped him, as if the very air held secrets waiting to be unveiled. His movements were a chilling contrast to the tension that hung in the air, each step a calculated dance of ease that belied the storm brewing beneath the surface. Such overwhelming confidence surged within me, leaving my throat parched and my heart racing. Perhaps it was the way his tank unveiled just a tantalizing glimpse, leaving the rest shrouded in mystery, igniting the imagination with unspoken possibilities. Or perhaps the shadows of solitude had wrapped around me for far too long, whispering secrets of despair in the silence of my heart. I filled 2 glasses, the liquid shimmering ominously, and extended one toward him, the air thick with unspoken tension. In that fleeting moment, our fingers barely grazed each other, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. Then, he turned his gaze upon me, those deep brown eyes piercing through the shadows, and a smile crept across his lips, sending a shiver down my spine. "Your appearance is nothing short of stunning, I must say." A nervous chuckle escaped my lips, too hasty, too revealing of the tension that hung in the air. This aged robotist concedes, a shadow of uncertainty flickering in their eyes. "Absolutely not, I mean it." He uttered the words, taking ASIP, a phrase that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken implications and the weight of uncertainty. The fire within you remains unquenched. The words hung in the air, thick and suffocating, swirling around us like a dark, ominous fog. Perilous, intoxicating wisps of smoke linger in the air, wrapping around the senses like a seductive whisper of doom. We lingered in the living room, the air thick with unspoken tension. I crossed my legs, a shiver of awareness coursing through me, as if the very air had thickened with unspoken tension. Of my robes, woven with secrets and shadows, each thread a whisper of untold stories waiting to unravel. Unraveling threads of uncertainty. Liam's gaze darted, a fleeting spark igniting as it brushed against my exposed thigh. Just as he was about to divert his gaze, I summoned the courage to clear my throat, the air thick with unspoken tension. What secrets does the school hold this time? What whispers linger in the halls, waiting to be uncovered? Tell me, what tales unfold within those walls? Monotonous and lifeless, a void of excitement looms, threatening to swallow all that dares to linger in its presence. He spoke, a sly grin creeping across his face, as if he held a secret that could unravel the very fabric of reality. My restless spirit craves the thrill of creation, the pulse of my hands igniting a fire within. The mundane feels like a prison, and I yearn for the raw, tangible connection that only action can provide. What awaits me in the world of the tactile? The unknown beckons, and I am ready to answer its call. My throat tightened, a heavy weight settling within me. A palpable shift enveloped the atmosphere. Perhaps it was all a figment of my imagination, a fleeting shadow dancing at the edge of my perception, teasing me with its elusive presence. Perhaps it was merely my own mind spiraling into chaos, a tempest of wild imaginings that threatened to consume me whole. Yet, deep within me, I sensed it. I raised the glass to my lips, the tangy sweetness of the lemonade barely masking the tension that hung in the air. With each sip, I fought to maintain a facade of ease, but the weight of unspoken words loomed heavily between us. "Ah, you possess a remarkable skill with tools, don't you? A talent that could turn the tide in the most precarious of situations." Indeed. He uttered those words, a chilling whisper that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truths and the weight of impending revelations. In the shadows of the dimly lit basement, I found myself entangled in the intricate web of plumbing mysteries alongside my uncle. Each twist of the wrench echoed like a heartbeat, a reminder of the unseen challenges lurking just beneath the surface. With every pipe we connected, the tension mounted, as if the very walls were holding their breath, waiting for the next surge of water to reveal its secrets. This was no ordinary task, it was a plunge into the depths of uncertainty, where every drop could lead to disaster at times. When the shadows lengthen and the air thickens with uncertainty, a whisper of possibility lingers in the silence. In an instant, everything changed. An idea crept into my mind, shrouded in shadows, whispering secrets that beckoned me closer to the edge of revelation. Seemingly pure, yet shrouded in an unsettling mystery that lurks just beneath the surface. My shower has been behaving strangely, as if it harbors a secret, lurking just beneath the surface, waiting to reveal its true nature. I declared. A suffocating weight presses down, an unseen force that stirs unease in the air. And I loathe the icy grip of cold water. Do you dare to cast your gaze upon this? The stakes are higher than you can imagine. He straightened his posture, a sudden intensity in his gaze, as if the weight of the moment hung in the air, waiting for the next move. "If you're not in a hurry," he said, the words laced with an unspoken tension that crackled between them. His grin spread slowly, a shadow of mischief dancing in his eyes, as if he held a secret that could unravel the very fabric of reality. "Guide us through the shadows." I guided him toward the bathroom, each step heavy with unspoken tension, the air thick with anticipation of what lay beyond that door. With each step, my robe whispered secrets, shifting like shadows in the dim light. And I chose to leave it broken, a haunting reminder of what once was. He knelt by the tub, his hands trembling as he twisted, the air thick with an unspoken tension that hung like a storm cloud, ready to unleash its fury at any moment. With a heart pounding in the silence, the figure approached the pipes, each knob a potential gateway to the unknown. The air thickened with tension as the hand reached out, trembling, ready to unveil the secrets that lay hidden within. I lingered in the shadows, my breath caught in my throat as I observed the taut muscles of his back ripple beneath the delicate fabric of his tank top. A sinister drip echoes in the shadows below, a leak that threatens to unravel everything. He uttered, stretching his hand into the unknown, as shadows danced around him. It seems a washer must be replaced, a seemingly simple task that could unravel a much larger mystery lurking beneath the surface. Is there a way to mend this shattered reality? Indeed. Perhaps a desperate dash to. The hardware store loomed ahead, its shadow stretching ominously across the pavement, a fortress of tools and secrets waiting to be uncovered. As I crouched beside him, the air thick with tension, I felt the weight of the moment pressing down, drawing me in closer than I ever intended to be. In that fleeting moment, our shoulders brushed against each other, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. A chilling silence enveloped the air as his breath hung in the balance, suspended in time for a fleeting second. His gaze pierced through the shadows, a storm of emotion swirling within him. The air was thick with tension, each heartbeat echoing like a distant thunderclap. What lay ahead was uncertain, but the weight of the moment pressed down on him, urging him to confront the unknown that loomed just beyond his reach. It is I, standing at the precipice of fate, where shadows dance and whispers linger in the air, beckoning the unknown. The moment is charged with an electric tension, as if the very universe holds its breath, waiting for what comes next. Here I am, ready to confront the unfolding drama of existence. And this time, he held his gaze, unflinching, as the weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. Our faces hovered perilously close, the silence thickening around us like a shroud, each heartbeat echoing in the stillness. A shiver coursed through me as I sensed his gaze lingering on my lips, a silent tension hanging in the air between us. Then, like a whisper of fate, it slipped down the loose fold of my robe. In that fleeting moment, I should have turned back, should have severed the ties that bound me to the impending darkness. I should have spoken up. Yet, I refrained. He too remained silent, shrouded in an unsettling stillness that hung heavy in the air. The silence echoed with unspoken truths. We stand on the precipice, the weight of the world pressing down upon us, as shadows loom and secrets whisper in the dark. The air crackles with tension, and every heartbeat echoes the uncertainty of what lies ahead. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we be consumed by the very forces that seek to tear us apart? The answer hangs in the balance, waiting to unfold. Thank you, Liam. I whispered, my voice barely escaping my lips, as if the very air around me held its breath, waiting for the secrets to unfold. For what his voice echoed through the shadows, a haunting melody that sent shivers down the spine, leaving an unsettling silence in its wake. Each word dripped with unspoken secrets, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the light. What truth lay hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be unearthed? The air thickened with tension, as if the very walls had hung in the air, a palpable tension that whispered of secrets yet to be unveiled, shrouded in mystery. For igniting the embers of my heart once more. Silence hung in the air, thick and suffocating. He didn't respond. His gaze pierced through the silence, heavy with unspoken words, as if the very air around us crackled with tension. And in that fleeting moment, a chilling realization washed over me, everything had irrevocably shifted. That night, I lay in bed, my fingers brushing against my lips as if they held the secrets of 1,000 untold stories. He had sealed their fate with a kiss. He stood on the precipice of a decision, the weight of uncertainty heavy in the air. Not yet had he crossed that line, but the moment loomed ever closer, a shadow creeping into the corners of his mind. Yet, deep within my heart, I yearned for him to do so. Regret gnaws at my insides, a relentless whisper echoing in the shadows of my mind. I shouldn't have done it. He was the son of my closest friend, a bond that intertwined our lives in ways I never anticipated. In the shadows of a world brimming with secrets, a young man stands, handsome, yet burdened by an insatiable curiosity that beckons him toward the unknown. What lies beyond the veil of his ordinary existence? The air crackles with tension, as if the very fabric of fate is about to unravel before him. Yet, desire dances to its own haunting melody, defying every rule that seeks to bind it. As I slowly turned the handle and pushed the door ajar, a chilling breeze swept through, sending shivers down my spine. What lay beyond was shrouded in darkness, and the air crackled with an unsettling tension. My heart raced, each beat echoing in the silence, as I braced myself for the unknown that awaited me on the other side. To a door that remained stubbornly ajar, taunting me with its unyielding presence. The dawn broke, but my mind was ensnared in a web of thoughts that refused to let go. Liam, the name echoed in the shadows, a whisper that sent chills down the spine. What secrets lay hidden behind that single syllable? The air thickened with anticipation, as if the very universe held its breath, waiting for the next move in this unfolding drama. The stakes were high, and the tension palpable. What would happen next? Only time would reveal the truth lurking in the darkness. Those piercing eyes, filled with secrets and shadows, held a depth that could ensnare the very soul of anyone who dared to gaze into them. His hands trembled, a storm of uncertainty brewing within them. The intensity of his gaze pierced through the air, igniting a fire within me, as if I were something far beyond the ordinary. A mother, shrouded in mystery and unspoken fears, stands at the edge of a shadowy abyss, her heart racing with the weight of untold secrets. What lies beneath the surface of her calm exterior? The air thickens with tension as the truth looms, waiting to be unveiled in a moment that could change everything. She was not merely an old widow draped in a silk robe, there was a depth to her presence that hinted at untold stories and secrets lurking in the shadows of her past. The reflection stared back at me, a silent witness to the tension in the air as I brushed my hair, each stroke echoing like a heartbeat in the stillness of the room. Today, the fabric of my robe clung to me with an unsettling intensity, as if it were a silent witness to the turmoil brewing within. Yet, I couldn't shake the feeling as I observed how my skin radiated with an otherworldly luminescence, a beacon in the shadows, hinting at secrets untold and mysteries lurking just beyond the veil of the ordinary. It clung to the memory of his warmth, a flickering ember in the chilling darkness, a haunting reminder of what once was. Even though his hands had never grazed my skin. The knock at the door echoed through the silence once more, sending a shiver down my spine. My heart raced, caught in a moment of sheer disbelief. Could it truly be him? With trembling hands, I slowly pried it open, my heart racing as the unknown awaited within. Indeed. There he stood, a shadow against the flickering light, a figure cloaked in mystery and tension, waiting for the moment that would change everything. Liam but. This time, he stood before her, cloaked in shadows, the absence of his usual tank top sending a shiver down her spine. He donned a black t-shirt that clung to his form, accentuating the high-stressed jeans that hung precariously, as if they were on the brink of unraveling at any moment. Perfectly poised, as if the universe itself conspired to align every element in a breathtaking moment of clarity. In his trembling hand, he clutched a small, unassuming brown bag, its contents shrouded in mystery and foreboding. The washer has arrived, a harbinger of change lurking in the shadows of the mundane. He declared, muscles tensing as he hoisted the bag into the air. In a moment of reckless abandon, I decided to confront the chaos I unleashed upon your shower. The task loomed before me, a challenge that beckoned with both urgency and uncertainty. A fleeting chuckle, a mere facade to mask the rapid pulse of fear beneath. My heart thundered in my chest. Your kindness knows no bounds. He crossed the threshold once more, as if the shadows had whispered his name, beckoning him back to a place he was destined to reclaim. There I stood, captivated by the way he glided through the shadows, each movement a whisper of secrets untold. In the shadows, a figure stands, poised, unwavering, exuding an aura of calm that belies the storm within. Each breath is a testament to their unshakable resolve, a silent promise that they will not falter. The air crackles with an unspoken tension, as if the world holds its breath, waiting for the moment when this quiet strength will reveal its true power. We ventured toward the bathroom once more, the air thick with an unspoken tension, each step echoing the uncertainty that loomed ahead. As the fabric of my robe whispered against my thighs, a shiver of anticipation coursed through me, hinting at the secrets that lay just beyond the shadows. His eyes caught a fleeting glimpse, yet they dared not linger, as if aware of the peril that lay in the shadows. He brought me to my knees. The bag lay open, its contents spilling forth as the tub began its meticulous task. I perched on the edge, heart racing, anticipation coursing through me. The tub loomed ominously, its surface glistening under the dim light, as I fought the urge to gaze into its depths, a sense of foreboding creeping over me. Yet, in the shadows of my ambition, I stumbled. The weight of my failure loomed like a dark cloud, threatening to engulf everything I had fought for. Your gaze lingers on me, heavy with unspoken words and hidden intentions. He spoke, his back still turned, the weight of his words hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to unleash its fury. A smile crept across my lips, a flicker of light in the shadows that surrounded me. Your beauty captivates the senses, drawing attention like a moth to a flame. He raised his gaze, the weight of the moment hanging heavily in the air. Locking eyes with me, a silent tension crackled in the air. Indeed, you are. The silence returned, heavy and foreboding, wrapping around the room like a shroud, as if the very air held its breath, waiting for something to break the stillness. The kind that ensnares you, dragging you into its depths, where mere words falter. Prepare yourself, for you will need a towel. I shot up, the urgency of my question hanging in the air like a storm about to break. Indeed. He uttered those words, a chilling whisper that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken implications. My hands are drenched, the moisture clinging to my skin like a haunting reminder of what lies ahead. He turned, his heart pounding, and approached the linen cabinet, each step echoing with an unsettling anticipation. As I stood there, the fabric of my robe betrayed me, slipping ever so slightly off my shoulder, a whisper of vulnerability in the stillness of the night. The truth hung in the air, heavy and unyielding. I didn't fix it. As I pivoted, a chill raced down my spine. He was there, looming nearer than ever, shrouded in an unsettling silence. Water cascaded from his trembling hands, each drop a haunting reminder of the peril that loomed just beyond the shadows. Behold. I leaned in close, my voice barely a breath as I handed him the towel, the air thick with unspoken tension. He seized it, his heart pounding in his chest, the weight of the moment hanging in the air like a storm about to break. Yet, in that fleeting moment, he hesitated, the towel hanging limply at his side, as if time itself had paused, holding its breath in anticipation of what would come next. With a slow, deliberate motion, he reached up, his fingers brushing against my skin as he wiped away a solitary drop of water from my collarbone, igniting a spark of tension that hung in the air between us. His touch was a whisper, delicate yet charged with an unspoken tension that sent shivers down her spine. Far too gentle. A sharp breath caught in my throat. Clara, the name echoed in the shadows, a whisper that sent chills down the spine. What secrets lay hidden beneath its surface? What fate awaited her in the darkness? The air thickened with tension, as if the very world held its breath, waiting for the next move in this unfolding drama. He uttered those words, a chilling whisper that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truths and the weight of impending revelations. It lingered in the air, a whisper of uncertainty, as if the very fabric of reality was poised on the edge of revelation. What lay beneath the surface, waiting to be unearthed? The tension thickened, and the answer hung tantalizingly close, yet just out of reach. Text I gazed deep into his eyes, where shadows danced and secrets lurked, each glance a silent promise of untold stories waiting to unfold. In the shadowy depths of the mind, guilt lay dormant, a specter waiting to awaken. Yet, in that moment, there was none. A chilling calm enveloped the air, as if the universe held its breath, poised on the edge of revelation. Amidst the flickering shadows, a searing desire ignites, leaving one to ponder the depths of longing. I stood frozen, paralyzed by the weight of my decision. I didn't stop him. His hand crept toward my waist, a slow, deliberate motion that sent a shiver down my spine. And then, in an instant, everything changed. His lips pressed against mine, igniting a fire that sent shivers down my spine. It unfolded slowly, each moment stretching into an eternity. It was anything but wild. The moments dragged on, each one a tantalizing whisper of sweetness, a slow and deliberate unraveling that held the promise of something profound yet just out of reach. I surrendered to him, my hand gliding over his skin, a spark igniting in the air between us. Up his chest, the tension coiled like a serpent, ready to strike at any moment. His heartbeat quickened, mirroring the frantic rhythm of my own, a pulse of anticipation that electrified the air between us. He hesitated, drawing back ever so slightly, as if the very air around him crackled with tension. The desire has been clawing at me since yesterday, a relentless whisper in the shadows of my mind, urging me to take the plunge. He uttered those words, and I felt a lump rise in my throat, a heavy weight of uncertainty settling in the pit of my stomach. The desire has burned within me, smoldering in the shadows long before you dared to knock at my door. That confession shattered the silence, echoing with the weight of unspoken truths. There exists an unspoken tension, a palpable force that binds us, teetering on the edge of revelation. His lips brushed against mine, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. Once more, plunging into the abyss, but this time, the descent is more profound, more perilous. As the fabric slipped from my grasp, I stood frozen, a heartbeat away from the inevitable. The air thickened with tension, and I could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on me, daring me to act, yet I remained paralyzed, caught in a web of uncertainty. His hands roamed over my skin, igniting a fire within me that I could neither understand nor resist. As if I were a novel he had longed to explore, each curve a tantalizing chapter waiting to be unveiled. Every single inch, every hushed gasp I struggled to suppress echoed in the stillness, a haunting reminder of the tension that gripped me. Once, I was a woman. Edge is more than a mere widow, she is a woman cloaked in shadows, her past a haunting echo that lingers in the air, waiting to unveil its secrets. Not merely a mother, but a force of nature, shrouded in mystery and untold stories. Yearning enveloped me, a haunting echo of longing that pierced the silence of my existence. Yearned for existence. Later, we found ourselves sprawled on the plush bathroom rug, our bodies entwined in a moment thick with unspoken tension. Hearts entwined, pounding with an urgency that echoes through the silence. The silence hung heavily between us, a palpable tension that crackled in the air, begging for release. At long last, Liam's voice broke the silence, a mere whisper that hung in the air, heavy with anticipation. Was that truly acceptable? I slowly turned my head, my heart racing as I locked eyes with him, the air thick with unspoken tension. Far beyond mere satisfaction. I never intended to force your hand. It seems you didn't take the path I warned you about. Text, I uttered those words, a chilling whisper that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. I craved this with the same fervor that burned in your heart. He smiled, a radiant expression that illuminated his features, making him appear not only younger but imbued with an unexpected strength, as if a hidden power surged within him. Whispers of uncertainty linger in the air, a heavy silence enveloping the truth we hold. The weight of our secret presses down, urging us to keep it hidden, to shield it from prying eyes. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's best if we let no one in on what we know. Text, I uttered those words, a heavy silence hanging in the air, as if the very fabric of reality had paused to listen. The weight of my statement lingered, charged with unspoken tension, leaving the room teetering on the edge of anticipation. He nodded, a subtle yet powerful gesture that seemed to echo in the stillness of the room, as if the very air held its breath in anticipation of what was to come. They could never grasp the depths of it. My gaze drifted upward, fixated on the ceiling, as if it held the secrets of the universe, waiting to be unveiled. It eludes me, slipping through my fingers like sand, leaving only confusion in its wake. Yet, in the shadows of my mind, regret does not linger. But I chose not to. In that dimly lit, steamy bathroom, I stumbled upon a revelation that sent shivers down my spine. I had lost everything. A longing for a touch, a connection that ignites the very essence of the soul. A haunting presence that lingers, a shadow that whispers of despair and longing, far beyond the mere ache of solitude. And it arrived like a tempest, embodied in a 19-year-old boy who ignited a spark within me, awakening the woman I thought had long been lost. The dawn broke with an unsettling chill as I stirred from my restless slumber, the fabric of Liam's black t-shirt clinging to me like a haunting memory, a silent reminder of the night that had unfolded. The air was thick with his scent, a haunting reminder that lingered in the shadows, pulling at the edges of her memory. Pure, vibrant, and brimming with a tantalizing sense of mischief. He had slipped away after our encounter in the bathroom, his nervous smile betraying a rush of emotions, cheeks ablaze with an intensity that lingered in the air like an unspoken secret. But just as he was about to step away, George seized the moment, pulling me into a kiss that felt like a final farewell, charged with unspoken words and lingering tension. With a deliberate slowness, he savored each moment, as if he were etching the essence of my flavor into his very soul, desperate to hold on to the memory forever. As I stepped barefoot into the dimly lit kitchen, his shirt clinging to me like a second skin, the lingering warmth of his hands sent shivers down my spine, igniting a fire of anticipation that crackled in the air. Theetingaling lingered, a shadow in the corners of the mind, refusing to fade into oblivion. I poured myself into the depths of uncertainty. A solitary cup of coffee lingered on the counter, its dark surface reflecting the turmoil outside as it gazed out the window, waiting for an unseen force to stir the stillness of the moment. The sun loomed ominously in the sky, casting long shadows that whispered secrets of the day ahead. Birds were perched ominously on the edge of the gnarled branches, their shadows stretching like dark fingers across the ground. A chilling wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it an unsettling sense of foreboding. Each rustle of leaves seemed to echo a warning, as if nature itself held its breath, waiting for the inevitable moment when chaos would erupt. The sky darkened, and the air thickened with tension, leaving an unshakable feeling that something extraordinary was about to unfold. The haunting sound of chirping echoed through the stillness, a chilling reminder of the unseen presence lurking just beyond the shadows. Yet within me, a tempest had begun to brew. What have we done? At the age of 56, I stood on the precipice of a life-altering moment, the weight of the years pressing down like a storm cloud ready to unleash its fury. The air was thick with anticipation, and I could feel the pulse of destiny thrumming in my veins. At the tender age of 19, he stood on the precipice of fate, unaware of the storm that loomed just beyond the horizon. The son of my dearest friend, a bond forged in the fires of loyalty and trust. I should have intervened before it spiraled into chaos. I should have cast him aside, but the weight of my indecision held me captive in that moment. Yet, I chose not to. For the first time in years, a spark ignited within me, as fingers brushed against my skin, sending shivers down my spine. Deeply moved. It was more than mere contact, it was a profound connection that transcended the physical, igniting a fire deep within their souls. As the clock struck noon, a sudden buzz shattered the silence, pulling me from my thoughts. He had made me feel seen, but what awaited me on the screen was a mystery that sent a shiver down my spine. Text Liam, I need to talk to you. Can I come over later? My eyes locked onto the message, heart racing, as time seemed to stretch into eternity. My thumbs trembled above the keyboard, poised on the brink of revelation, as I began to type. Indeed, the doors creak open, revealing the unknown that lies beyond. My heart raced, pounding against my chest like a drum heralding an impending storm. Text.as The clock struck 2 p.m., I pressed send, a rush of adrenaline coursing through me. Just then, he appeared in my doorway, a bag of groceries in hand, his presence sending a chill down my spine. With a glint of mischief in his eyes, he leaned closer and whispered, I have a surprise for you today, something special, something unforgettable. As the door creaked open, a shiver ran down the spine, the air thick with anticipation. What lay beyond was shrouded in mystery, beckoning with an allure that was impossible to resist. Each step forward felt like a descent into the unknown, where shadows danced and secrets whispered in the darkness. Are you really cooking now? I inquired, arching an eyebrow, the tension thick in the air. His grin was unsettling, a mask that concealed a deeper turmoil lurking beneath the surface. Yet, I persist. Text with a mischievous grin, I beckoned him into the shadows of the kitchen, where secrets lingered in the air, waiting to be unveiled. With a swift motion, he placed the bag on the table, his heart racing as he revealed the contents, a bundle of pasta, ripe tomatoes glistening like jewels, and a small block of cheese, each item brimming with untold possibilities. In that fleeting moment, he appeared utterly innocent, a facade that masked the storm brewing beneath the surface. So normal, yet it felt like a veil of strangeness hung in the air, thick and suffocating. This was the ritual we had always embraced, a dance with fate that felt both familiar and foreboding. As the water roared to a furious boil, he stood at the stove, a figure of concentration, while I wielded the knife, slicing through the silence with each deliberate chop. The air thickened with anticipation, the kitchen transformed into a battleground of flavors, where every moment held the promise of something extraordinary. The tomatoes, ripe and glistening, hung heavy on the vine, their vibrant red skin concealing secrets that whispered of danger and desire. What lay beneath their glossy surface? A story waiting to unfold, a tension thick enough to slice through the air. The moment was electric, charged with the promise of revelation, as shadows danced around them, hinting at the unknown lurking just beyond the garden's edge. We toiled in close proximity, the tension palpable as our shoulders brushed against each other, igniting an unspoken connection that hung in the air like a charged storm, ready to unleash its fury at any moment. In fleeting moments, our hands brushed against each other, igniting a spark as we reached for the unknown. The very same spoon. Flickering embers dance in the shadows, whispering secrets of what lies ahead. With a whisper that hung in the air like a charged storm, he inquired about the seemingly innocent yet undeniably alluring Clara. Was there a line I dared to cross yesterday, a boundary that should have remained untouched? I halted, the weight of the moment pressing down upon me. My gaze locked onto him, a silent storm brewing in the depths of my eyes. And there he stood, more than a mere boy cloaked in the innocence of youth, yet beneath that facade lay a heart ensnared by the intoxicating grip of a crush, a longing that could ignite a tempest within. Before me stood a man, his eyes ablaze with an insatiable hunger for answers, each question hanging in the air like a storm waiting to break. The tension was palpable, as if the very fabric of the universe held its breath, poised on the edge of revelation. And perhaps, just perhaps, there lies something far more profound beneath the surface. Absolutely not. I whispered, my voice barely breaking the silence. You stood at the precipice, the weight of unfulfilled promises heavy in the air. Nothing was crossed, nothing was gained, and the silence echoed with the haunting reminder of what could have been. We both plunged into the unknown, hand in hand, as the shadows loomed around us, whispering secrets of what lay ahead. He nodded, a subtle yet powerful gesture that echoed with unspoken tension in the air. Yet, it was the suffocating silence that enveloped the room, whispering secrets I dared not confront. He stood at the precipice of uncertainty, a storm of doubt swirling within him. Deep down, I sensed the weight of the unusual pressing against my chest, a truth that lingers in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. He whispered, "You're older now." The weight of those words hung in the air, thick with unspoken truths and the shadows of time that loomed between them. In a world where identities intertwine and perceptions clash, you stand as you are, an enigma wrapped in beauty and brilliance. What am I, if not a mere reflection of your captivating essence? The air crackles with tension, as the truth of our existence hangs in the balance, waiting to be unveiled. Beyond my reach. My eyelids fluttered, a fleeting moment suspended in time. Then, a smile crept across their lips, a fleeting glimmer of something unspoken, a promise of secrets yet to unfold. In a world where kindness often feels like a fleeting shadow, your sweetness pierces through the darkness, leaving an indelible mark on the heart. It's a rare gem, glimmering with the promise of warmth and connection, yet it carries with it an unspoken weight. What lies beneath this sweetness? The tension hangs in the air, thick with anticipation, as the true nature of your charm beckons to be unveiled. His gaze pierced through the silence, a storm of unspoken words swirling in the depths of his eyes, as if he teetered on the edge of revelation. Yet, in a moment that hung heavy in the air, he took a step closer. His fingers extended into the darkness, trembling as they brushed against the unknown. My cheek, a canvas of unspoken tales, bears the weight of a secret that lingers in the shadows, waiting for the moment to unravel its truth. May I dare to press my lips against yours once more? He asked, his voice barely rising above a haunting whisper, as if the very air around them held its breath in anticipation. I nodded, the weight of the moment pressing heavily upon me. And in that electrifying moment, our lips collided once more, igniting a fire that had long been simmering beneath the surface. With a gentler touch this time, each movement deliberate, the air thick with anticipation, a sense of caution enveloped the moment. As his arms encircled my waist, a shiver coursed through me, igniting a fire that threatened to consume everything in its path. I felt myself surrender, melting against him, caught in a whirlwind of emotions that left me breathless. My hand trembled as it slipped beneath, his shirt a barrier that heightened the tension, fingers tracing the contours of his stomach with a tantalizing urgency. He drew in a sharp breath, the air catching in his throat. And that sound awakened a tempest within me, a force long buried, now clawing its way to the surface. Our lips met in a moment that felt suspended in time, a spark igniting the air around us, leaving everything else in shadow. Until the water erupted, boiling over in a furious frenzy, hissing defiantly against the stove, as if warning of the chaos that was about to unfold. Later, we found ourselves on the couch, plates of half-cooked pasta precariously balanced in our laps. Laughter erupted between us, a desperate attempt to mask the grim reality of the culinary disaster we faced. The taste was a haunting reminder of our ill-fated choice, and as we exchanged glances, the absurdity of the moment deepened the suspense of our evening. I couldn't shake the feeling that we had made a grave mistake. With a sly grin, I turned to Little Flame, my voice dripping with playful tension. Perhaps we should have ordered pizza instead, don't you think? The air crackled with unspoken possibilities, as if the very choice we made could alter the course of the evening. Next time, I'll relinquish the spatula to you, but beware, the kitchen may never be the same again. His hand lingered on my bare thigh, a silent promise hanging in the air, thick with tension and unspoken desires. Now, fingers traced delicate circles, each movement laden with an unspoken tension, as if the air itself holds its breath in anticipation. My body remained still, a statue in the shadows, unyielding and resolute. I craved it, a burning desire that consumed my every thought. It was essential, a desperate craving that gnawed at my very soul. Do you feel the chill creeping up your spine? He posed the question, a shadow of uncertainty hanging in the air. In an instant, a thought pierced through the chaos, halting me in my tracks. Indeed. Yet, I feel no remorse. He leaned in, his breath warm against my skin, and pressed his lips to my shoulder, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. Neither do I. There, in the shadows, a presence loomed, waiting with bated breath for the moment to strike. It had returned, lurking in the shadows, a haunting echo of the past that sent shivers down the spine. The irresistible tug, a force that beckons from the shadows, drawing one closer to the edge of the unknown. The throbbing tension that hung in the air, a haunting reminder of the fragile line separating innocence from the inevitable chaos that awaited us, beckoning us closer to the edge of danger. Yet, in that fleeting instant, nothing else held significance. In that moment, nothing else held significance, only the path ahead loomed, shrouded in uncertainty and fraught with peril. His touch ignited a spark within me, awakening a dormant beauty that had long been buried in shadows. In a world teetering on the edge of despair, the pulse of existence thrums with urgency. The shadows whisper of desire, a longing that ignites the heart. To be wanted, to be loved, these are the flames that flicker in the darkness, drawing souls into a dance of fate and fervor. Not yet, but the shadows whisper of a day when the impossible might become reality. That night, he lingered in the shadows, the weight of uncertainty pressing down on him like a thick fog, refusing to let go. We lay in bed, the weight of the night pressing down around us. His chest was a steady rhythm against my back, each breath he took sending shivers down my spine. His hand, a fierce anchor, found mine beneath the sheets, gripping it tightly, radiating warmth and an undeniable sense of safety. But in the shadows of the room, an unspoken tension lingered, as if the very air around us was charged with secrets waiting to unravel. In that fleeting instant, a chilling revelation gripped me. This was no mere moment, it was the birth of something profound, something that would change everything. Something perilous lurks in the shadows. A truth that pierces the veil of illusion. To all my extraordinary Ella Infidelity Story subscribers, your unwavering loyalty is a beacon in the shadows. Thank you for remaining with us on this tumultuous journey. Until the very last moment, you pulse with life, the unwavering heartbeat of this channel. Step into the unknown and embrace the thrill of connection. If you're new to this realm, don't hesitate, hit that subscribe button and join a family that boldly ventures into the depths of love and the allure of the forbidden. Prepare yourself as we plunge into the climactic finale. The morning sun crept through my bedroom window, its golden rays slicing through the darkness, illuminating the sheets with an eerie glow that hinted at secrets yet to be uncovered. Liam lay beside me, lost in a deep slumber, his hand a warm weight on my waist. I could feel the soft rhythm of his breath whispering against the nape of my neck, a tender reminder of the fragile peace that enveloped us in that moment. But beneath the surface of tranquility, an unsettling tension lingered, as if the night held secrets yet to be unveiled. He lay there, an image of tranquility, yet beneath that serene facade, a haunting fragility lingered, a stark reminder of the peril that shadows youth. I observed him intently, my gaze unwavering, as the seconds stretched into an eternity. This boy, this man, the son of my closest friend, holds a secret that could unravel everything. What twisted fate led us to this moment? What mysterious force transformed a mere package into an all-consuming passion? I slipped out of bed, moving with the utmost caution, every creak of the floorboards a potential alarm. As I stood before the mirror, I wrapped my robe tightly around me, feeling the heavy burden of our unspoken truth pressing down, a palpable tension hanging in the air. The weight of finally doing it pressed down on my chest like a vice, a suffocating dread creeping in. What would people say? The thought gnawed at me, a relentless whisper in the shadows of my mind. What words would escape her lips? She was his mother, a figure shrouded in mystery, yet she had been my closest confidant for more than 2 decades, a bond forged in the fires of shared secrets and unspoken fears. What would her gaze reveal if she discovered the truth of her son's forbidden kiss? Our lips met, a fleeting brush that ignited a spark, leaving the air thick with unspoken tension. As I lay there, my body called to me in hushed tones, a haunting echo that sent shivers down my spine. As she quivered beneath him, a haunting question echoed in the depths of his mind: would she ever find it in her heart to forgive me? Liam stirred from his slumber, the shadows of the night still clinging to him like a shroud, as the world outside whispered secrets he was yet to uncover. In the dim light of the kitchen, I felt a presence behind me, a sudden warmth enveloping my waist. His arms tightened around me, and as he leaned in, his lips brushed against the vulnerable curve of my neck, sending a shiver down my spine. "Morning," he uttered, his voice a mere whisper against the chilling air, as if the dawn itself held its breath in anticipation. With eyes heavy with slumber and a smile that hints at untold secrets, the atmosphere crackles with an unspoken tension. "Morning," I breathed, my voice barely escaping the shadows that cloaked the dawn. Yet, my voice emerged transformed, echoing with an unsettling resonance that sent shivers down my spine. Every muscle in her body was taut, every breath a whisper of caution. The air crackled with an unspoken tension, as if the very world around her held its breath, waiting for the inevitable moment to unfold. He sensed it immediately, a chilling awareness creeping into his mind. "What's wrong?" he inquired, his voice laced with an urgency that hung in the air like a storm cloud, ready to unleash its fury. I spun around in his embrace, my hands trembling as they cradled his face, searching his eyes for the truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. "Liam, we must speak. The air is thick with unspoken truths, and the shadows of our silence loom larger than ever." His smile vanished, leaving behind an unsettling silence that hung in the air like a storm cloud ready to unleash its fury. He understood, deep down, that this relentless cycle could not continue. I whispered, my voice barely breaking the heavy silence. We crossed a line, and I felt the weight of the moment crash down around us, a palpable tension hanging in the air. The consequences loomed like shadows, dark and foreboding, as I grappled with the reality of what we had done. Every heartbeat echoed the gravity of our choice, and I knew there was no turning back. The silence was deafening, each second stretching into eternity, as the truth threatened to unravel everything we held dear. Regret? Not a whisper of it lingers in my mind. Yet, the web of complexity weaves a tale far deeper than it appears. Overwhelmingly intricate. Silence hung in the air, thick and suffocating, as he stood there, his lips sealed, a storm of unspoken words swirling in the depths of his eyes. He locked his gaze onto mine, a piercing intensity that felt as if he were delving deep into my soul, desperately seeking something to cling to. "You're only 19. I have added, and now, I stand as myself, unwavering and resolute. "You're not just anything," he declared, his voice low and intense, as if the weight of his words could shift the very fabric of reality. In a heartbeat. From the very instant I crossed the threshold of your home, you became the singular obsession that consumed my thoughts, a haunting presence that lingers in the shadows of my mind. His words gripped my heart, a vice of emotion tightening with every syllable. Yet, the roar of my fear drowned out everything else. What if the truth slips through the cracks and your mother uncovers the secret? The very thought sends chills down your spine, igniting a firestorm of anxiety within. The air thickens with tension as you contemplate the consequences of her discovery. What would she say? How would she react? The weight of uncertainty looms, and the stakes have never felt higher. Text. I breathed the words softly, as if the very air around me held its breath, waiting for the revelation to unfold. What if this shatters everything? Is it truly everything? He stepped closer, his hands tightening around my hips, a shiver of anticipation coursing through the air between us. Then we shall tread with utmost caution. But how much longer can we remain in the shadows? I questioned, the weight of uncertainty pressing down on me. He paused, a storm of uncertainty raging within him. In that fleeting moment of silence, an unspoken truth hung heavy in the air. What simmered between us transcended mere desire. Now, it was a perilous game, a dance with danger lurking in every shadow. It was ablaze, raging fiercely, with no salvation in sight, no water to quell the inferno's wrath. 2 agonizing days slipped by, and still, I refrained from calling him. Silence enveloped the air as the seconds stretched into an eternity. He didn't text. I repeatedly whispered to myself that it was finally over. But then, as the sun dipped low on the third afternoon, my phone shattered the silence with a piercing ring. It was Liam's mother, a figure shrouded in mystery, her presence sending a chill down the spine of all who dared to cross her path. My heart surged, clawing its way up into my throat, a wild beast desperate to escape. I responded, forcing my voice to maintain an air of normalcy, though the tension in the air was palpable. "Hey, sweetie," she whispered, her voice laced with an unspoken tension that hung in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. With a bright smile, Jay revealed he had arrived to tackle the mystery of your malfunctioning shower. Gratitude swells within me for allowing him to step into the shadows and lend his hand. His words hung in the air, heavy with meaning, and I felt a knot tighten in my throat as I struggled to breathe. His assistance loomed large in my mind, I uttered with a heavy heart. With each passing day, I find myself captivated by the transformation of that boy, as he evolves into a true gentleman, leaving me in awe of the man he is destined to become. She pressed forward, her resolve unwavering, as the shadows loomed ever closer behind her. He whispered to me, a chilling revelation that you had crafted him pasta as well. It was a haunting blend of despair and sweetness, a contradiction that lingered in the air like a ghostly whisper. A nervous laugh escaped my lips, echoing in the tense silence that surrounded me. He speaks a truth that lingers in the shadows, a haunting echo of reality that cannot be ignored. The air hung heavy with anticipation, a silence so profound it felt as though time itself had come to a standstill. And then she uttered a chilling revelation that sent a shiver down my spine. "Do you sense it?" Her voice was a whisper, barely breaking the silence, yet it carried an intensity that sent shivers down the spine. "He speaks of you often," his words laced with an intensity that hints at secrets untold. Far beyond the bounds of mere neighborly affection, a tension simmered, thick and palpable, as if the very air crackled with unspoken secrets. A gasp escaped my lips, frozen in the moment. Uncertainty looms like a thick fog, shrouding the truth in shadows. I stand on the precipice of confusion, grappling with the unknown that surrounds me. What secrets lie hidden in the darkness? What revelations await just beyond my grasp? The air is heavy with tension, and I am left to wonder, what is the reality that eludes me? "Clara," she pressed on, her voice trembling with urgency. "Yet, in the shadows of our bond, you stand as a sister to me, a connection woven with threads of unspoken secrets and unyielding loyalty. And I place my unwavering trust in you." A dark, gnawing guilt coiled tightly in my stomach, threatening to consume me whole. Trust, such a fragile thread, and yet it was that very word that shattered my world into a million pieces. As darkness enveloped the world outside, I felt an undeniable urge to reach out. My fingers hovered over the screen, trembling with anticipation. That night, I texted, "Liam, we must halt this madness before it's too late." His response came like a flash, a heartbeat away from the silence that hung in the air. "Why is your mother beginning to harbor doubts?" The air thickens with tension as her instincts sharpen, and the shadows of uncertainty loom ever closer. This cannot continue. Silence hung in the air, thick and heavy, as time itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a trembling hand, he pressed send, the weight of his words hanging in the air like a storm about to break. "But I love you." My fingers trembled, paralyzed above the glowing screen, as an unsettling chill coursed through me. Love surged within me, and my eyes brimmed with unshed tears. The silence hung heavy in the air, a weight that pressed down on my chest. No one had dared to utter that word to me in years, and now, as it echoed in my mind, I felt the ground shift beneath my feet. What did it mean? What shadows had it awakened? The tension crackled like electricity, and I knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Yet, deep within me, a chilling certainty took hold. I understood the path I must tread, fraught with peril and shadowed by uncertainty. "Then, if you truly love me, summon the strength to release this burden and set us both free." I responded, the weight of my words hanging in the air like a storm about to break. "Before it unleashes chaos upon all that we hold dear." At last, the final message pierced the silence, sending a shiver down the spine of all who dared to listen. "In the shadows of my past, you emerged as the first woman to ignite a spark within me, awakening a pulse I thought had long faded into oblivion. Since that fateful day, Liam has vanished from my life, leaving behind a haunting silence that echoes in the shadows of my memory." That fateful night. At times, I find myself frozen by the window, heart racing, eyes scanning the horizon for Gavin, a figure who remains forever elusive, a ghost of hope that never arrives. Yet, the memories haunt me. The way his fingers brushed against my skin sent a shiver down my spine, igniting a fire within me that I couldn't ignore. Each lingering caress held a promise, a secret that hung in the air, thick with tension and unspoken desire. It was a moment suspended in time, where every heartbeat echoed the thrill of the unknown, leaving me breathless and yearning for more. The way his lips met mine was electric, a moment suspended in time, charged with an intensity that left my heart racing and my breath caught in my throat. It was a kiss that held secrets, promises, and a hint of danger, igniting a fire within me that I never knew existed. In that fleeting instant, everything else faded away, and all that remained was the undeniable pull between us, a force that could change everything, as if my existence held weight in this vast, indifferent world. In that fleeting moment, I transcended the confines of my grief, no longer merely a widow grappling with the remnants of a shattered life and a broken shower. In the shadows of my past, I found myself, a woman on the brink of awakening, grappling with the intoxicating thrill of desire. Each heartbeat echoed the longing to be seen, to be craved, as if the very air around me crackled with unspoken promises. The world around me faded, and in that moment, the pulse of possibility surged through my veins, igniting a fire I thought had long been extinguished. In the shadows of longing, love often arrives unwrapped, a fleeting whisper rather than an eternal promise. In the shadows of the night, a fleeting moment hangs in the air, electric and charged, a stolen kiss that ignites the soul, a whisper that dances on the edge of silence, beckoning secrets yet to be revealed. And that must be all there is, for now.